Hello and welcome to Teeing Off with RevSportz. I am Gargi Raut, your host, and joining me today for this conversation are S. Kanan, Ishan Shahane, and Shomik Chakravarti. We have lots to discuss today, from rumors of Jasprit Bumrah being rested for the fourth Test match to discussing about how India has produced some incredible talents, all thanks to its domestic circuit, and of course, the big news of Anush Agarwala qualifying for the Paris Olympics. Uh, Kanan, there's still a couple of days left for the next test match, but there are already rumors about Jasprit Bumrah being rested in the fourth test match. Will it be a good decision for India?
I think you use the right word, rumor. There's no official communication
Yeah.
from the BCCI, whether it's the Twitter handle or an email. So, as far as I am concerned, so far there is no truth in it. And the same thing had cropped up even before the third test in Rajkot. There was a kite flying, so to say,
Yes.
done by a particular section, which was followed up by some that Bumrah wanted rest. The truth is, Bumrah never wanted rest, and Bumrah spoke after that rumor that I love playing Test cricket and I'm ready to play. Some stats are being churned out that he's bowled 80 overs till now, which is no big deal. If you look at his bowling in the third Test, combined two innings about 23 overs, which is nothing. You look at the old days when people like Kapil Dev used to bowl, or you go back to Glenn McGrath or even Dennis Lilly. You look at Ian Botham, the amount of cricket they played. It was amazing. There's no problem on his fitness, number one. And in this particular match, we saw Siraj doing well in the first innings. If we are going to go into the fourth test, obviously hoping to win that match so that it becomes like a done deal for India. So how are we going to leave out Bumrah? So it's like stone silence from the BCCI. So kite flying, and I think this time the kite's not flying too high; it's only going to get cut.
Aha. And Shomik, who are your options? I mean, we have to discuss the possibility of Bumrah not being there since you're getting all these rumors since the last test match. But if there's no Bumrah, what are your options? Who do you go for?
Gargi, first of all, a few words about Bumrah. Like ahead of the second test, a section of the media reported that he will be rested for the second test. He will be rested for the third test. Sorry.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that there was a 9-day gap between the second test and the third test, we at RevSportz we reported that he is not going to take rest and he will be playing. Now, as far as the fourth test is concerned, what my understanding is, there are two sides of it. Bumrah himself is willing to play. He is not willing to sit out in this test series. And also, there is a gap between fourth test and the fifth test in Dharamshala. Number one. Number two is that the support staff, the team management, obviously keeping an eye on his workload and might just lightly or might float the idea about how about taking a rest, sitting out of this game. Bumrah is also the vice captain of this team. You have to remember that. So whatever would be done in consultation with both parties, Bumrah and the team management. That is one thing. And two things, I would be surprised. Personally, I would be surprised if Bumrah sits out of this game in Ranchi. I won't be surprised if Bumrah sits out of a small section of the IPL. I won't be surprised. Now coming back to who can be his replacement? See, Mukesh Kumar is in the squad. Mukesh Kumar was released to play the Ranji Trophy because Siraj and Bumrah played. So if Bumrah sits out, Mukesh Kumar will automatically, because now Bengal are out of the Ranji Trophy. Mukesh Kumar is free. He doesn't have any Ranji fixtures to play for. So he will come back and join the squad. And I think given that he was already in the squad ahead of Akash Deep, he will play. But I still feel it is still not. I mean, Bumrah's thing is not certain as yet.
And Ishan, would it be a setback for the Indian team not having Bumrah there, or do you think like they got over not having Ashwin. They could very well come out with some good performances.
No, it's going to be a major setback actually, Ragi, because Bumrah is your experienced campaigner and he's someone who has that X factor, can also get you those wickets. And if you notice, Gagi, I think Jasprit Bumrah is someone who also is very economical in the way that he's always targeting the stumps and the wickets. He's a bowler that, a lot of English batsmen don't actually face him because he's just so good and he's always hitting the right length. So someone like Bumrah not being in that squad will definitely dent India's chances, I feel, because if Mukesh Kumar comes in, we saw him in the last to last test match as well. He wasn't at his very best. So obviously he'll have another opportunity. But obviously you would want Bumrah back in your squad and in fact playing in your squad because wouldn't want to lose out on him. So I think Bumrah's presence is absolutely important and the Indian team should try their best to hold on to him and possibly keep him on for the fourth test. If India goes on to win that fourth test, then they can, think about resting him maybe for that fifth test match.
Yes, and since we're on the subject of cricket, Ishan interviewed former Indian cricketer Jatin Paranjape on his journey as a player to a selector and how he transitioned from a sports person to an entrepreneur. Take a look.
It's a very complex job being a selector because you are taking a call on a player. So that's a player who spent 10-15 years of hard grind making it there. Then you've taken a call, but you have to socialize that call within your selection committee. Then as a selection committee, you need to hold hands on that call, and then you need to socialize it with the team management as well, because they are closer to the ground than any of us. So tough calls. I mean, the decision to transition the captaincy from MS Dhoni to Virat Kohli, that was a call taken by our selection committee, and Dhoni, the the legend, the champion, the legend that he is. He is as magnanimous as it comes. So he made it really easy, and he said, no, it's the right decision. And that made it really easy. And he said that he would be around to help Virat, and no two ways about that. So that was a tough call. Prithvi Shaw making his debut and getting 100 at Rajkot versus West Indies. That was an important call. I think Washington Sundar going to Australia. Shardul Thakur also going to Australia because they add a little bit of oomph down the order as well. Indian cricket's always had a problem that batsmen don't bowl and bowlers don't bat. So so finding that all-rounder was an issue for us. It was a task because you have many all-rounders at the domestic level, but none are unfortunately good enough to play international cricket. So that was one piece which we couldn't solve because there just wasn't any supply, of stature to go after.
Before we head back to cricket, let's talk about Anush Agarwala. Last year, he made history to become the first Indian to get a medal in the Asian Games in equestrian. Yesterday, it was confirmed that he has qualified for an individual spot for the Paris Olympics in dressage. Talk us through his journey, Kanan.
I think it's fantastic news. Anush Agarwala, we saw him at the Asian Games winning 2 medals. And his event is unique, dressage. We saw during the Tokyo Olympics, Fawad Mirza there. But Anush Agarwala, he's won the quota for India. That's the important point. He's not won it for himself. It's on the basis of all the competitions he's undertaken. And, when he was in New Delhi in January, he had come to collect the Arjuna Award from the President of India, and he had spoken about wanting to qualify for the Olympics. So to make the cut on a horse which was not with him, it's a better horse than what he had in Hangzhou. To make the cut, I think calls for great celebration because, for Indians even to make the cut, in the equestrian events, whatever be the event, whether it's 3-day eventing or dressage, it's very high profile. It's a very expensive sport. And the way the family supported him, he was from Calcutta flying over the weekend to Delhi, getting trained before they said, no, he's got to be moved to Europe. And I think it's a great success story. It's highly motivational for many, because equestrian, shooting, gymnastics, these are not mass sport really. So what he's done is creditable. Yeah, quota is for India. But as I see it, he should be the guy going there to Paris. He deserves it. He's worked very hard for it. Two medals at the Asian Games and individual medal in dressage. That was really a top class in hacks.
Yes, and thank you for summing that up. But going back to cricket, in the last test match, we saw a fairly inexperienced squad putting on an incredible performance. How much do you credit the domestic circuit for the players that are coming through the rank? Shomik.
It's not only about domestic circuit, it's about the entire system. I mean, BCCI gets $6.2 billion from the IPL media rights, and that money is well spent. They cover the grassroots from school cricket, from age group cricket to every level. Vijay Marchand, Vinu Mankad, Polly Umrigar, everything. So it is a system, and also yeah, they are being complemented by the IPL franchises that do the necessary scouting. I mean, what domestic cricket teaches you, for a batsman, it teaches you to play long innings. For a bowler, it teaches you to bowl long spells. You go through the grind, you become a battle hardened professional. So from that end, you learn to take the rough with the smooth. So from that point of view, and Indian cricket has a very robust, irrespective of some modern day players turning a blind eye to red ball domestic cricket and prioritizing T20, IPL for that matter, and other franchise leagues. The majority are not like that, and Indian cricket has a very robust domestic red ball domestic cricket system. It is one of the best in the world. It is better than the county circuit because county, now has two divisions, and so it is one of the best domestic setups in the world. So obviously, your supply line is always good. Your supply line is always providing players at the top. Now, just one last word about this. See, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, they will not play for long. They are on the wrong side of 30. But we already have someone like Yashasvi Jaiswal, who is a domestic cricket thoroughbred.
Gagi, can I add a few lines? It's about domestic cricket. It's not that Indian domestic cricket has suddenly become good, and it's not that because of the IPL money, domestic cricket has improved or anything like that. In fact, to the contrary, people were criticizing IPL that IPL is ruining, Indian cricket and Indian cricketers. But if you look at Yashasvi Jaiswal, he's come from the IPL. He's played first class cricket. If you look at Sarfaraz, he's also come from Mumbai Maidans. Both of these guys and they've played first class cricket. So Indian domestic cricket has been good. The complaint now is that some of them are not playing it. For example, there's a mystery about Ishan Kishan, and recently we heard from the board secretary, Mr. Jay Shah, that people must play domestic cricket and not ignore it. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when the COVID pandemic was raging, Ranji Trophy had almost been compromised, whereas international cricket was being played in the bio bubble. But now, if you look at it, every domestic tournament is on, whether it is Syed Mushtaq, whether it is Ranji, and we are right now in the midst of the Ranji season. So it's very important, and I think probably if we give more importance to something like the Irani Cup, that would also make a lot of difference. So yes, the Indian system is good, Indian cricket system is good, and there is a huge talent base available now. And it's not like someone got into the team and he was a permanent fixture there. And it's okay. You have a mix of youngsters in their 20, 22, and you've got 35 and 36. Virat Kohli and even Ravindra Jadeja and a year older Rohit Sharma. There's nothing like they're going to be at the end of the career. You're as fit as possible, and as long as you can keep pushing the envelope, you can continue to play. Nowhere has the board said that just because you're in the mid 30s, we're going to throw you out. Performance matters, not age.
Absolutely. And Ishan, final question to you. Since we're talking about domestic circuit, who's a youngster you are really excited to watch in the future among the current lot playing for India, or even someone you have an eye on in the domestic circuit?
I think it has to be Safraz and Yashasvi for now because these two have been performing really well, And I've seen Riyan Parag do really well in the domestic circuit as well. He scored a lot of runs, so I'm sure he'll be playing for the Royals once again. So I think a lot of questions on his IPL performance, but he's doing a lot of good cricket in the domestic circuit, Gagi. So I think he's someone that can possibly move up the ranks. But I think Sarfraz and Yashasvi for sure, Gagi, because these two have just taken the game by storm. And they've added a sense of freshness, which is so good to watch. Jaiswal is playing a brand of cricket that Virendra Sehwag used to play at one point of time. Just a free brand of cricket where he expresses himself. So it's so good to watch. And even Sarfaraz. So I think these two, I think, will definitely have India's hands in, they'll, I think, take India in the right direction. So Yashasvi and Sarfaraz for sure. And maybe Riyan Parag in the near future.
Great. And
Just
since we're
one,
talking about, yeah,
just one word about this Gagi. Keep an eye on Rinku Singh. He has already cemented
yeah,
his place in white ball cricket, but he is a very good red ball player also. If you look at his scores for UP, and keep an eye on him, sooner rather than later he will be part of the red ball setup also.
I think a
I
lot
think
of
we are
people
all
would like.
ignoring Rajat Patidar. Rajat Patidar is also part of the team. Fine, he's flopped in 2 tests, but I don't think they are going to really throw him out unless KL Rahul comes in. So, there's plenty. It's not just about 2 people or 3 people. There are enough people, and even if you look at the bowling department, your stock of fast bowlers who are coming in, you have a fresh supply. It's easy to say there's nobody there. But we've seen that whenever there have been injuries and replacements, or you're using the rule where you want to give rest or a break to the bowlers. New faces have come in, whether it is Prasidh or Mukesh, whoever else is coming there. And I'm sure once you have the IPL coming up very soon, you will see many more cricketers also shining. And based on that, probably, apart now from the test, suddenly we'll be slipping into the T20 World Cup mode. And then you're going to see who's going to be picked. You're going to have an old man leading you, and you're possibly going to have Virat Kohli, but question marks hang there. But yeah, we've got plenty of exciting talent, proven performers, as well as the youngsters. And let's not forget that someone like Cheteshwar Pujara, he's still playing in Rajkot at another ground when the Test match was on. He's not giving up. That's the beauty of Indian cricket.
Yes, and since we're talking about domestic cricket, here's Shubhayan Chakravarti giving us all a glimpse of the history of the Indian domestic circuit and the system. Take a look.
Cricket is not just a sport in India but a way of life. The passion and fervour for the game in the country are unparalleled. India has produced some of the finest cricketers in the world, from legends like Sachin Tendulkar and Kapil Dev to modern day superstars like Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. Now when you suddenly see a Sarfaraz Khan, Dhruv Jurel or Yashasvi Jaiswal in the test circuit, or plenty of new faces in the shorter formats, don't think they have cropped up suddenly out of thin air. The success of these players is not just a result of their talents but also a testament to the country's robust domestic circuit and talent management system. The BCCI governs Indian cricket, and this includes the domestic circuit as well. Unlike the case in the other cricket boards, the Indian domestic scene is widespread and quite complex. The domestic structure in India is second to none, which is on the expected lines with the population. For instance, the BCCI is hosting a whopping 1846 games from June 2023 to March 24. BCCI hosts domestic competitions across all formats of the sport and ensures every state board is covered in each of these. Apart from that, there is Dulip Trophy, Deodhar Trophy, Irani Trophy, besides the age group structure in the circuit. Talent management starts at the grassroots levels, where youngsters are introduced to the sport and provided with proper coaching. Initiatives like school and club level cricket programs are essential for identifying potential talent early on, and credit goes to the BCCI here. 9 players have made test debuts for India since the start of 2022. In chronological order, KS Bharat, Surya Kumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Mukesh Kumar and Prasidh Krishna debuted for India before the ongoing series. And at home, in the current Test series against England, Rajat Patidar, Dhruv Jurel and Sarfaraz Khan have made their respective debuts. And then there are players like Avesh Khan and Akashdeep who have been part of the Test squad. Among all these, players like Abhimanyu Ishwaran, Priyank Panchal, Jalat Saxena among many others who never got that India cap despite stellar performances in domestic circuit year in and year out. Whereas players like Manoj Tiwari, Faiz Fazal, Shahbaz Nadeem, Jayant Yadav among others would feel that they should have played for India a bit more. That showcases the strong system and the player influx from the domestic circuit, and also the tight competition in the system. While the IPL gets fair credit for highlighting the uncapped players to the cricketing world, domestic cricket is the real reason behind solid foundation of the Indian cricket team. And just has been the case in the past with previous legends of the game, once the likes of Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Ravichandran Ashwin, Jasprit Bumrah and others decide to hang their boots, it will be the domestic circuit once again that will help India fill the big shoes once again. What do you think about BCCI handling the domestic circuit of the Indian cricket team? Do let us know in the comment section below and keep following RevSportz for more.
And that wraps up our conversation for now. But we're also building up to the RevSportz Trailblazers Conclave, and joining us at the conclave will be the finest women's tennis player India has ever produced, a 6-time Grand Slam champion, a former world number 1 in doubles, and a 4-time Olympian, Sania Mirza. Take a look and have a good day.
She's clearly one of the greatest ever Indian athletes of all time. More importantly, she's a symbol of empowerment and a breath of fresh air. Much like Aamir Khan's character in Three Idiots, Sania Mirza was one in her own league. From Sania Mirza, she became the Sania, a phenomenon. As mother, she made the Australian Open mixed doubles final. It was a testament that every mother can scale heights and not give up on their sporting careers, or for that matter, any other career. Winning Grand Slams, becoming the world number 1, breaking new barriers, Sania Mirza has done it all. Last year, she missed out on coming to the Trailblazers Conclave because it was her farewell day in Hyderabad. This time, we are delighted to welcome her on International Women's Day to hear from her about motherhood and empowerment. Presenting speaker at the Trailblazers Conclave, Sania Mirza.